Hello everyone, today we're replacing the fuel neck on a 2007 Nissan Qashqai petrol. They are very common to suffer with corrosion. The dealership wanted £260 for a brand new pipe. I found one on eBay for around £60 including delivery. Here's the exact one we bought. Be aware this price may change. There is 3 bolts, 2 clamps holding the pipe on. They will be very rusty. You might want to tap the head with a hammer first. I used a 13mm socket. I removed the 3 holding bolts and 2 clamps first. All 3 bolts were very rusty. I did struggle to remove them. They were tight. The pipe is so corroded, once I had removed them, I gave it a pull, and the pipe crumbled literally in my hands. Also, both pipe clamps were really badly corroded. This is the small pipe and clamp. There is a brake pipe bracket attached to this bolt as well as to the fuel breather pipe. Because it's a tight space the clamps are in, I just used the big lever bar and pried them off. I did try to undo the 10mm clamp, but the head snapped off on me. Of course, make sure you are working safely with an axle stand. Make sure you buy 3 Jubilee clamps before you start this job. 2 for the big rubber pipe and 1 for the smaller pipe. This year Nissan suffer badly with corrosion. I already fitted 2 brand new rear trailing arms to this car. Finally, this clamp is loose. The clamp didn't want to separate, but the large pry bar takes no prisoners. I tried to remove the smaller pipe clamp, it just crumbled on me. So I grabbed it and pulled it off with my big pliers. I also advise you wear safety goggles under the car. This is because when I was messing under the car, the dirt and the rust was falling in my eyes. Once the pipe was loose, it folded due to how badly corroded it was to allow it to come out easily. However, this is just the beginning of what I thought would be a simple job. Turns out it took me quite a few hours to do this job without bending the new pipe. I'll tell you from now, the new one did not want to go in as easy as the old one came out. So we'll start by telling you the shocker will need completely removing. This was done with an 18mm spanner and an 18mm socket. Then the bump stop will also need removing. This was a 13mm bolt in the center hole on the bump stop. This is the bump stop. Then the upper aluminium control arm will need removing. To remove the upper arm, you will need a 21mm socket and a 21mm spanner. There is a brake pipe bracket as well that needs taking off before you can remove the upper arm. Be careful of the ABS wire and sensor. These are very delicate and break very easily. The wire is held on the upper arm. It should just push out of the bracket. Finally, after a wiggle and a wobble and a bit of cursing, the old rusty pipe was completely removed. I wasn't expecting it to be so bad. I apologize for my cursing.
This fucking rotten piece of shit.
I didn't have the correct clamps, so I'll show you a Jubilee hack. 2 smaller clamps can be opened fully and joined up to make 1 bigger clamp. Doing this and holding the camera wasn't easy. It was actually impossible. I ended up resting my phone on the pipe, so I could show you how I did this hack. I had to make do with what I had. And there we have it. 2 smaller ones can be joined up very easily. Now it fits, I can carry on. I tried to get the pipe in without removing all the parts that was mentioned earlier. I found out the hard way. They all needed removing to gain enough access for the neck to go under the wheel arch. There is no other way to do this. So if I was to do this job again, I would go straight to removing all the parts that was mentioned. I did forget to mention the anti-roll bar link bolt will need removing also. That's the shock absorber removed. This is the upper arm.
So finally,
the coil spring was not removed, but it was in the way a little bit. Here you can see the anti-roll bar link bolt removed.
And the link. And the shock
With a
up.
bit of fiddling, the pipe finally went in. So now I found out some of the brackets were not a great fit and required slightly bending for the holes to correctly line up. Once I'd secured the pipe holding bolts, I did notice something. The gap between the tank and the large pipe was now shorter. But this wasn't a problem, as I can simply cut the rubber pipe that joins the two.
Okay.
Make sure you don't cut the large end off, because one end is bigger the larger side goes on the tank inlet. If you cut this wrong, you will struggle to get the pipe on. You will only get one chance, so measure twice and cut it once. Okay. Now reverse the procedure and refit all the parts you removed. Please like and subscribe for more helpful videos, hacks, and tips to do with cars. Make sure you tighten every bolt. The last thing you want is something coming loose or squeaking after you put the wheel on.
There you go.
If you are doing this job without a torque wrench, make sure they're what us mechanics call FT.